What is up, you guys? This is gonna be a new series on the channel called Learning with Dro. So what we're gonna do, what the plan is to do my method on one side and then a different method on the other side. And what we're gonna do today, we're gonna do like a longer style on top. We're not gonna cut the top. We might just style it going backwards like that. And what we're gonna do on this side is, for you guys that don't know, I started working at another shop. It's downtown Vancouver. It's called Blank Space. And the owner, Aldrich, he fades in a really different way. He actually uses the fast feed. And the way he fades is, he does the ball line and then he goes with the 0 guard and then the 2 and then the 1 and then that's done. And you guys know the way I fade it. I'll go with my lever open and then fade down. So basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna do 2 different methods and then compare the both. And you guys comment down below which one looks the best. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna wet the hair just so we can part the top from the sides, because since it's gonna be a longer hairstyle, I want the front of the hair to be disconnected, but the sides right here to be connected with the sides. So the way we wanna do this, we wanna part right here on the parietal ridge going. So if you put the comb on your client's head, if you see it right here where the comb starts going down, this is the apex. This is the highest point of the head. So we're gonna bring the line all the way up to that part, starting from the parietal ridge right here. You're gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna part it to the sides. And calm that down. And then you're gonna come right here, where the apex is. You can see that's right here. You're gonna measure middle of the eyebrow right here. So all you're gonna do now is bring it to the other side. So what this does, this allows us to clip the bangs. So the sides of the hair are gonna be connected to the fade. However, the bangs are gonna be a little longer. So when you style them, they can go backwards. So we're gonna do a little bit of a triangular part and comb the hair down. And then we want this to be coming straight off the head. So this is gonna be our base. So you can see here is where we cut it, and this is what we gotta cut. So then when we do your next section, and you comb it out, you're gonna be able to see what you need to cut, right? When you bring them together, you're gonna be able to see it. This is what you cut before. This is what you need to cut, right? If you lift it up like this, you can be able to see what's below your current section, right? So all you gotta do is cut it right there. So now that we've done all of our sections on the side, you can see that all the hair is just flowing back like we want to. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's my line of weight right here. And this is where we're gonna stop when we go with the machine. So all we gotta do now, we're just gonna blow dry the hair like we want him to style it. So maybe you guys will be able to see the line of weight that I created on this side, right here, going down. So all we gotta do is just gonna blow dry it like we want it styled. So since it's gonna be a little bit of a brush back, we're just gonna blow dry like this. All right, so we're gonna start doing my method. So I got a 3 guard on, closed, and all we're gonna do is debulk it. But so what side do you want me to do my method?
This side.
This side?
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do now. Now that the hair is dry, maybe you guys can see my line of weight right here. But yeah, so I'm just gonna run my 3 guard up to there. And he likes his haircut pretty low. So when I get to the back, I drop it right here to his occipital bone. And we're not gonna worry about this much weight right here, because we're gonna come with the thinning shears or clipper over comb just to give us some shape. So we got the 3 guard going, and you guys can see that it's pretty much blended, but there is a little bit of weight around here. So we're just gonna take this out later with the thinning shears or with clipper over comb. But now we're gonna start our first guideline, which is what I do. I go with the trimmers. So I'm just gonna, and every time I set my guideline, I'm looking over here and I see that I started at the bottom of the eyebrow. So this is like my guideline to start it here, and on the other side. So when I get to the other side, I know that I can go no higher than on the bottom of the eyebrow. And you guys want to go like this instead of setting it down like this, because when you set it down like this, it creates too much of a line. So this is what I do, right? What I do is that I take it out all the way. As I'm going with the trimmer, I take it all out. I'm not just gonna take a little bit off. You guys are gonna see the difference. On my side, I take it all off, all the way to the bottom. Because you guys watch my videos before, I go with the trimmer, and then after the trimmer, I go with the shaver. So now that we got our trimmer step going, we're gonna go with the shaver. And I'm not gonna go all the way up right here. I'm gonna stop about right here. And then I'm gonna do this all the way around, right? I'm gonna stop right here, and then follow all the way to the front line. And then on the back, sometimes I like to use just the top one if it's like a low on the back, but if we're gonna go really high, I like to use two like this, because it takes the hair faster. And then you guys can see we've made a bit of a line, but we did it on purpose about right here. And now to take that out, I'm just gonna tap it downwards with the grain instead of going up like we were. So what I like to do, I like to start my second guideline, sorry, with the lever open. And I'm just gonna go up about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And we want to follow the same guideline that we did before. We want to be parallel. We don't want to go straight. We don't want to go all the way downwards. We want to be parallel with the line that we did before. And you want to go over it many times, because you want to make sure that this is all the same length. After that, I'm going to close it up about a notch, and then I'm not going to go. So as you guys can see right here, if we go with the comb, it takes about this much, right? This is our guideline. But I'm not gonna go all the way up with my lever closed like this. I'm only gonna go to about right here, because I still wanna leave the lever open that we did right here on the top. So you guys can see I'm not going all the way up. And then after that, I'm gonna close another notch, and then I'm gonna go under that. So right now I'm about halfway at the guideline. And I'm gonna close it a little more. Just tapping it on the bottom. Now I'm gonna close it all the way. I'm just gonna use my corner. I'm not gonna be using the whole blade. I'm only gonna be using the corner, and I'm only gonna touch it up. I'm not going up. I'm just touching it and taking it out. And then we just want to do the same steps all the way over the line so we can get it all blended out. And you if you think that the line isn't out yet, like I don't think that it's fully out right here, I'm just gonna repeat my steps, but the opposite way. I'm gonna start with the closed, tap it up, open a bit, tap it up, open a bit more, tap it up, open a bit more, tap it up, and I'm gonna keep going. Still there, but I'm gonna finish the fade and then I'm gonna go back to the spot once it's all done. Once I'm detailing the haircut, right? So we did a 3 guard right here. So it's simple math, right? What comes below the 3, the 2 guard open. So that's what we got on. Purple means 2, lever down means open. So we're not gonna go all the way up, we're gonna stack guards. Stack guard is, all it means is that you're just gonna stack your guards, pretty simple. Self-explanatory. You're just gonna go 3, 2 open, 2 closed, 1.5 open, 1.5 closed. And that's all we're gonna worry about for now. So 2 open, I'm going all the way up right here and then I'm flicking out. So up, flick out, up, flick out. And we're not gonna worry about this part still. We're just gonna come on the stop part right here after, when the fade is done. So we went with the 2 guard open. All we're gonna do now, close it all the way up. And we're not gonna go as high, but we're still gonna go pretty high. So up, flick out, up, flick out. So we went with the 2 closed, 1.5, open, up and flick out. So right here, he has a little dip on his head. So to really get the hair cut, I'm just gonna go with my corner. I'm going a little higher. If you use your corners, you can go higher, as you can see, but I'm not gonna use the blade flat and go that high. We're still stacking guards, right? So we wanna be pretty close to the 2 guard closed. After we're done with the 1.5 open, close it all the way. Remember, if you want to go a little higher, use your corners. So we went with the 1.5 closed, now 1 open, same thing. Up and flick out, up and flick out. Just gonna do that all the way around. After the 1 open, close it all the way. And now we're gonna be real careful. We don't wanna bring this up too high because otherwise we're gonna have to, you know, bring the whole fade higher. So all we're gonna do is just gonna slightly tap it. Here on the front, his hair tends to be a little thicker, so I can go a little higher. And when you get to the back, you want to be real careful because as you guys can see, we have like a smaller area than the rest of the fade. So we really just want to tap it very so slightly. So all we got to worry about now is this line right here. And to take the line out, I got the 1/2 guard on, about halfway. And we're just gonna use our corners. Still wanna go up, but we wanna be real careful about it. This is the most important part of the fade. Because if you go too high with this, you're gonna have to bring the whole fade higher. You're gonna have to redo all the steps. So the 1/2 guard with the lever halfway, it's not gonna take that line out. The line's still there. You gotta close it all the way and be even more careful. The line is out, right? So we'll just redo all the steps all the way around the head. Remember to also use the back of the blade as a guard. You don't want to be like this all the time. The higher you go, the more you want to use the back of the blade You know, maybe you can use the guard like this. So it's not gonna be a half guard. The half guard's there. It's not gonna cut like a half guard, right? And now the fade is there. We see a bit of dark spots right here. A bit of dark spots right here. Maybe right here. So all we gotta do now is just detail. Detailing is what's gonna bring your fade to the next level, right? So we gotta do some detailing right here on the blend, and then we're gonna worry about this part. All right, so we're done with detailing. And as you guys can see, we still got the line of weight that we talked about, but we don't worry about it too much, being, you know, hanging over the head, because his ear's never gonna be like that. You're just gonna, you know, put it back like we cut it to, but we still see a bit of weight right here. Not so much on the front, but more right here. So that's what we gotta worry about right now, just this part. And to start it off, because I'm not too sure of the length, so I don't wanna cut too much with clipper over comb. So I'm gonna start with my thinning shears. So now all we gotta do is gotta put in the C cup right here. So you guys know how I do it. I start on the top of the C cup. And we're not gonna do the front lineup just yet. We just wanna line that up and see how it looks. So now we're gonna go with Aldrich's fade style. So he uses the fast feed. So that's what we got on first. And instead of using the 3 guard, I'm using number 2 open because they cut a little different. So we gotta adjust to it. So yeah, number 2 open, and we're gonna go as high as we did on the other side. I don't know if you guys can see our line of weight right here. That's as high as we're gonna go. So after going with the 2 guard open, I'm gonna close my lever up and we're gonna stack the guard just like we did on the other side. So on the other side, we did our trimmer guideline right here. That's what we're gonna do now. You see the end of the eyebrow right here. But we're not gonna go like this, we're gonna go from underneath. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm leaving some hair down below. He doesn't take it all out. He likes to leave it there to give us some contrast. So we're gonna leave it like that. And then he comes with it downwards and just tap a little bit. So he starts it off with the 0 guard, and he says he doesn't fade with the system. It's more visual for him. And what he does, he starts with a 0 guard, and he's not planning to make a guideline, but he's gonna go up about an inch, and then he tries to kind of freestyle a little bit using the back of the guard as another guard, and he blends it in with the 2. And he doesn't worry too much if he's making a line, as it can always comes back with the 1 or cornering it. So. I'm not as good doing this method, right? So I feel like I made a bit of a line right here, and that's okay. Because, well, he says that if he makes a line, he'll toss on the 1 guard. However, he never does. So he just uses the half guard and he goes like that. But since I tossed on the 1 guard, and I'm gonna start with the open. And we're just gonna do the same thing. We're just kind of freestyling. It's all visual. We're not thinking of a system. You know, we did the 2 guard, and we did the 0 guard, and we made a line in between, so we were using the 1, right? It's not about a system, it's about visual. So now that this part's all blended out, we got this line to worry about. And how he takes that line out, he goes with the lever slightly open. So it's not fully closed or open, it's just slightly open. So we're not trying to make a guideline, we're just trying to tap it to see how the hair reacts. We're not going too high. And then you open it up as you need it to corner it. And we left a bit of a line still, right? Let's take that out and then close it up. I'm just gonna use our corners. I'm still very light-handed. So the fade is basically done. All we gotta do, just gotta detail it, right? I took the ball line out. I'm still gonna go back with the trimmer very low right here. So like we talked about, it's very visual. So I got the zero guard on, and I'm just gonna try to tap it right here with my corners. But if I have to, I'll put in the one, or if I have to, I'll take it out. So we're gonna start taking this line out and going with the shaver. So to take this out, it goes with the trimmer, but very slightly, very lightly, because he's trying to leave a mark right here. You know, as you guys can see this, he's trying to leave that. So that's how high he's gonna go with the shaver. So we don't want to press too hard with the trimmer, right? We still want to be able to see where the line is and how high we're gonna go with. How we're gonna go with the shaver. And that's why we ran the trimmer downwards. Because when it goes downwards, you cut a little sharper. So I don't know if you guys can see it right here. It's much lighter than up here where we went like this. And much lighter than what we went right here. So now we're gonna do what we did on the other side. But he does it slightly different. He's gonna go all the way up to this line. He's gonna stop right here, and then he's gonna tap it downwards. So now we're just gonna line him up. We're gonna put in the C cup, and then we're gonna go from there. So he also does this thing with a shaver, where he not only uses the shaver to bald it out, but he uses on dark spots. So when I was detailing, I left a couple of dark spots on purpose to see if we could take it out with the shaver. So I see one about right here. You guys may not see it, but I see it. So the way he does it, he taps it very lightly. He's not putting a lot of pressure, and he's not going up, he's going downwards with the grain. And it works, kinda, I guess. And I'm using this finger as a base, just to make sure that I don't really press it too hard and I don't take too much off. All right, you guys, so the fade is done. Just as a reminder, this is the fast feed. This is Aldrich's side, this is my side. We're gonna style it up, and we're gonna see how Josh likes it. We're gonna see how Bowden likes it. Bowden's the guy behind the lens, do never forget that. And yeah, let's go from there. Blow dried it in place, and to lock it down, I'm gonna be using balance. You guys know the deal. Pomade, clay, I'm rocking with the clay. I like the dry look. So just a little bit would do it. So all you wanna do, you wanna put it in your hand and get it all over the hair. We're not too worried about the hairstyle right now. We're just trying to get it all even in the hair. so the cut's done. This was my method. This side was Aldrich's method, and you guys seen the B-roll. So, what side do you like better?
I like this side better, just cause it's just a little bit faster.
Yeah, fair. What about you, Bowden?
I'm gonna have to go with the first side, this one here.
This side?
Yeah.
So it is a tie, so it's gonna come down to you guys in the comment. So comment down below, my side, Drit's side, or if you guys think it looks the same. So that's it guys, till the next time. Come on.